Hello everyone, my name is Stephen Deshane and I'm making this video for informational purposes only, and it's regards to the possible new school for both Madawaska and Wisdom combining. The reason why I'm making this is because recently I posted an AI photo to a page called Visit Madawaska. It was obviously made with AI, but it was to illustrate a point on the importance of not missing the boat on a grant that we were awarded in our area. If you remember, the post looked like this. And I posted some points. I'll repost the photo under this video. But I posted some points on here to basically illustrate the importance of not missing the boat this time. We went through this before while I was on the school committee before, and because of one district at the time, Fort Kent, MSED 27, voting, it was actually 50-50 in their town. Well, it was actually the town of Fort Kent within MSED 27 voted 50-50 to not approve the site selection. We lost our $100 million, $100 million grant to fund a new school for this area. At the time, the school was supposed to be placed near the tech center in Frenchville, and we lost our money. We were back to basically, you're on your own and you have to fund your own updates. If you want to build a school, it's on the local taxpayer. Now, lightning doesn't always, like they say, lightning doesn't strike twice, but in this situation, literally lightning struck twice. And we cannot miss the opportunity here. And I'll explain a little bit of backstory of how we got this other grant approved. And if I'm mistaken with anything, I'm not currently on the school board. I'm not on the town selectmen. I'm just a resident of Madawaska, and I've just been watching the meetings online and getting my own information. If I misspoke something, please correct me. So basically, what happened was when Dr. Levac Elementary School burned down in Frenchville, their elementary school, all the elementary school kids in the Frenchville, St. Agatha area were forced to then move into the Wisdom High School. They had to do what they could. I don't know if they had a trailer or anything. I don't know how they got those kids in there, but they put all the pre-K through 12 all in Wisdom at that point. As soon as they did this, within a year, I think, they applied for a grant for a new school for their area based off their emergency of they had a fire that burned down their school. And as the years went on, I don't know how many years it's been, they finally were actually one of two schools in the whole state. Two schools in the whole state were awarded this grant of a fully funded, state-funded school, K through 12 school. Now, many towns would just die for that, just a new school built by the state funding. Yes, it's still our tax dollars, but it's not gonna directly raise our property taxes because it's not being funded locally. Now, how did Madawaska get involved? Obviously, the two school boards had to work together and vote to basically combine and to put Madawaska on the grant. But the reason why Wisdom would like to have Madawaska on the grant is because obviously, if you have more students, more opportunities, better sports teams, more funding for programs. But another thing is when you're building the school, the state builds the school based on the number of students you have. So the more students you have, the larger school they will build. The more square footage they will have, the larger fields they will have. So that is the benefit of having Madawaska combining with Wisdom on their application. So it was Wisdom that won this award, this grant. But Madawaska obviously would like to join on because our school is not getting any newer. Any updates we do on our school is going to come from our local funds. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I've seen a lot of misconceptions, a lot of misstatement, like a lot of things written on Facebook recently after I posted this picture. They're just simply not true. Another thing is, a lot of people are accusing that I've tried to mislead by putting an old, worn down picture that represents our school. It was just an AI photo. It's just to represent that our school is not getting any newer. It's obviously not Madawaska High School. So basically, what I'm trying to point out is if we tried to update our own Madawaska school it's going to be all local funds paying for this if we don't join Wisdom. If we decide to keep elementary school and Madawaska High School open, we're maintaining 2 buildings instead of 1 building with St. Agatha and Frenchville, all combining resources to just maintain 1 building. We're obviously, our sports teams, my kids are in middle school and elementary school right now. I don't even know if my son will have a baseball team next year. There's just not enough students that want to play sports to even have baseball teams anymore. Yeah, soccer's doing all right, but other teams like baseball, basketball, we don't have volleyball anymore. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff that we can't have because there's just not enough athletes or players. So basically, there's no downside of Madawaska joining Wisdom and all of us working together collaboratively to do this new school. It's a school that is being funded 100% by the state. If there's any local costs, the only local cost will be is if we want to do anything extra. If we decide that the state will only pay for a so many square footage gymnasium and we want like double the size of our gymnasium, that is something we can decide locally between all the towns to vote to fund an extra $500,000 together to build a bigger gym or to add the Channel 7 studio above the gym. There's something extra that we want to add, we can do it collaboratively and vote as a town to add a little bit extra local taxpayer funding to make it bigger. But if we want to keep it just the way the state gives it to us, it's 100% paid for. The only thing we have to do at this point is all agree on a location. And that's what screwed us up last time. So the main thing is we have to remember, this is obviously Wisdom's grant that they won. So they're going to probably want to have it. Everyone's going to want to have it where they want to have it. But at the end of the day, we have to find, there's a site selection committee that's being formed. I'm not on it. They're going to have to find all available land that people want to sell or donate. They're going to have to survey everything. They're going to have to figure out what is feasible and big enough to build a school. And then we'll decide as an area. If it ends up being by the tech center again, I will be okay with it because you know what? As a resident of this town, everyone, we know our kids, they grow up, they move away. They have no reason to stay here because there's not much here for them. If we had a brand new school in this area, newer than Fort Kent, newer than Van Buren, just a nice new school, new facility, any young family moving this area to the port, they're working at the port of entry, even if they're moving they're going to go work at the Fort Kent port or they're working at the hospital, whatever. They're working at anybody working at Fort Kent Hospital, they want to put their kids in a new school, they'll probably buy a house in our area, Madawaska, St. Agatha, Frenchville, because they're going to want them to attend this brand new school system. Now, this is not something that's going to happen overnight. Like I said, there's a site selection committee. There's still a lot of information to come out as far as, like I said, if they want to do anything extra with the school, if there will be any local funding. But as of right now, we don't know that. We just got to go get along with Wisdom, St. Agatha, Frenchville. We got to work together to find a site. And wherever the site is, it's going to be in a pretty central area that we can all get to within 10, 15 minutes. And our kids will grow up all knowing each other, having good sports teams, being maybe a Class C, Class B sports teams finally that can compete with Presque Isle, Caribou, have a chance. And I just don't see the downside. So I don't really want to make this video. I really don't, but having young kids, my kids probably won't even attend it. Maybe my youngest will attend it. But doesn't mean I won't live here, and if I have grandkids someday, they will use it. It's just good for the town. Anytime I've ever moved to a new area, that's the first thing I look at is, what is their school system like? Is it a new building? Is it good teachers? Every new family wants to put their kids in a new school, and we have an opportunity that is going to be funded by the state 100%. Only 2 schools in the state are awarded this grant. If we miss the boat on this, Wisdom's still going to get the school. They're still going to have the new school. We're going to be the ones with the old school. So Madawaska will have no one left to merge with. We're not going to merge with Fort Kent. Wisdom's not going to merge with us anymore because they're already going to have their school and it's going to be built for their small amount of students. So we're going to be left with one option: fixing up our school in Madawaska or building a new one. And guess what? They're not doing this program anymore in the future. Watch the videos. This is probably the last time this happens. In the future, even if we are awarded a grant, we're still going to have to pay like 25, 30% of the cost. Do the math. That's like $12 million of like a $60 million school. I mean, I put it here on this paper. Do you want to pay $12 million even if we have to build a school 15, 20 years from now? Why would we want to do that when we can get it funded by the state now? Please ignore the haters, ignore the people on Facebook that are just trying to cause problems and they're not well informed. Just keep pushing through, do what's best for the kids of this area, do what's best for the whole area from Sinclair, Frenchville, Madawaska, Grand Isle. Do what's best for our future. Let's work together. Let's understand what's at stake and just vote to whatever it comes up, just vote to keep pushing this school forward. And just, like I said, ignore the haters. There's always gonna be haters. I'm sure on this video there might be haters. I don't care, but this is for my kids and for my future grandkids. And if there's any questions, please message me. I'll put the link to the website where you can follow along. Ben Sierra does a good job putting information, updates about what's going on. But again, I wasn't trying to make anyone pissed off with this AI photo. I wasn't trying to mislead anybody, but these are facts on here, okay? So again, just really think it through before you make a decision on this, but I think we all know the best thing to do. Thank you.